Dear students, this is the analysis of NEET paper 2025, and you can see certain things like the paper included both botany and zoology together. There was no separate botany and zoology section, and also it was as per the pre-COVID paper. There is no section A and section B. Earlier 2024 they had section A with 35 questions and section B with 15 questions, of which any 10 had to be answered. Now that has been removed in 2025 question paper. I am also dedicating this video to all my students of Vedanta Learning Center and also Diksha Navkis Center. So this question paper is exclusively dedicated for you all. So let me begin with the first question. So the complex 2 of mitochondrial electron transport chain is also known as, succinate dehydrogenase. So I have told you all my students that in regular class it has to be the match the following, they can ask it. Here they have asked it directly as a choice, succinate dehydrogenase, complex 2. You know that complex 1 is going to be NADH dehydrogenase, complex 3 is going to be the cytochrome C oxidase, complex system 4 cytochrome BC1. So all those we had discussed in the classes also. The next one is the polymerase chain reaction amplifies DNA following the equation. So which equation are they following? So is it n square 2 to the power of n is the correct answer. The polymerase chain reaction, after every polymerase chain reaction it doubles up. So it is in increasing in exponential order. So if you look at it, so 30 cycles of polymerase chain reaction, it is approximately 1 million copies of DNA are produced. So this point you can read it in the biotechnology, the chapter of biotechnology. What are the potential drawbacks in adoption of the IVF method? So high fatality risk to mother, expensive instruments and reagents, husband-wife necessary for being donors, less adoption of orphans, not available in India, possibility that the early embryo does not survive. So the possibility that the early embryo does not survive. So the correct answers for this is so high fatality risk to mother, that is not possible by IVF method. In vitro fertilization method, there is no such drawback. Expensive instruments and reagents, that is a drawback. That is the reason IVF is an expensive process. Husband-wife necessary for being donors, that is not always required. Less adoption of orphans, yes, that is going to happen. That's a drawback of IVF. They're not available in India. It is available in India, so that cannot be a drawback. Possibility that the early embryo does not survive, so that is more possible is there. So the drawbacks are B, D and F. So the answer is B, D and F. The next question is, what is the name of the blood vessel? What is the name of the blood vessel that carries deoxygenated blood from the body to the heart in a frog? So it is going to be vena cava. Just like human beings, even here it is a vena cava. So then you have the next question, which one of the following statement refers to reductionist biologists? So it is physico-chemical approach to study and understanding living organisms. This physico-chemical approach is considered to be a reductionist biology. Then given below are 2 statements. So many statement questions are also there in this particular question paper. You have to go through it. Okay. In the RNA world, RNA is considered the first genetic material evolved to carry out essential life processes. RNA acts as a genetic material and also as a catalyst for some important biochemical reactions in living systems. Being reactive, RNA is unstable. Statement 1 is correct. Statement 2, DNA evolved from RNA and is more stable genetic material. Its double helical strands, being complementary, resist changes by evolving repairing mechanism. In the light of the above statements, the appropriate answer is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. So next one, epiphytes that are growing on a mango branch is an example of which of the following? See, epiphyte is not going to draw any nourishment from the mango tree. So mango doesn't get neither benefited nor harmed. Epiphyte gets elevation, it is benefited. The answer is commensalism, where one species is plus, the another species is 0. From the statement given below, choose the correct option. The eukaryotic ribosomes are 80S and prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S. Each ribosome has 2 subunits. The 2 subunits of 80S ribosomes are 60S and 40S, while that of 70S are 50S and 30S. Okay. The 2 subunits of 80S ribosomes are 60S and 20S, and that of 70S are 50S and 20S. This is a wrong statement. So the 2 subunits of 80S ribosomes are 60S and 30S. Even this is wrong. So I have always asked my students to remember 80S as 60-40 and 70S as 50-30 sites. So A, B and C are the correct options. So first option is correct, A, B and C are correct. Which one of the following is an example of XC2 conservation? So national park, wildlife sanctuary, zoos and botanical garden, protected area. XC2 means it is in artificial conditions, not in natural conditions. So the answer, see, national park, wildlife sanctuary, protected areas, they are all natural in situ conservation. Zoos and botanical gardens are XC2 conservation. Third one, zoos and botanical gardens are the answer. The next question is, the primary source of energy in an ecosystem is solar energy. You know that the flow of energy is always from the sun. So, and it is unidirectional flow. We have discussed that in ecosystem chapter. So the first statement is correct. The primary source of energy in an ecosystem is solar energy. The second statement is rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis in an ecosystem is called net primary productivity. This is a wrong statement. It is gross primary productivity. So net primary productivity is the amount of energy available for primary consumers or herbivores. Always NPP equals GPP minus R. So you should remember that. So second statement is wrong on this basis. So statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So the next one is match the following. In this paper, you'll be able to see a lot of match the following, incorrect statement, assertion and reason. Then arrange the questions in proper sequences. So you find this type of diversified questions. You should also understand that the main purpose of the examiner is to keep you occupied more in the question and to see to it that you productively utilize 1 minute. Okay, so now here you have to compare list 1 with list 2. List 1 has different disorders. List 2, the symptoms are there. We have to identify. See, emphysema is a smoker's lung. So what you can notice here is in the emphysema, the damaged alveolar walls and decreased respiratory substrate. A2 option is there. So it can be either third or fourth statement. B, angina pectoris, acute chest pain when not enough oxygen is reaching to heart muscle. So B3, A2, B3. So fourth option is correct. Glomerulonephritis is inflammation of glomeruli of kidney. Tetani is rapid spasms in muscle due to low calcium ion in body fluid. So fourth option is the correct answer. Now we have the assertion and reason question. Both wind and water pollinated flowers are not very colorful and do not produce nectar. Reason is these are all reward mechanisms only for insect pollinated flowers. Wind and water are not attracted by color, neither are they attracted by nectar. So assertion is correct statement. Reason, the flowers produce enormous amount of pollen grains in wind and water pollinated flowers. This statement is correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So second option, both A and R are true, and R is not the correct explanation of A. Which of the following is an example of non-distilled alcoholic beverage produced by yeast? Without distillation, the alcoholic beverage is beer. Beer is the correct answer. Given below are two statements. Statement 1. In a floral formula, plus within circle stands for zygomorphic. It is a wrong statement. It should be actinomorphic. And G dash below stands for superior ovary, not inferior ovary. So statement 1 is false or incorrect. Statement 2, in a floral formula, plus within circle stands for actinomorphic. So statement 2, both G below dash stands for superior ovary. So both the points within statement 2 is correct. Statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is correct. So statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. That is fourth is the correct option. Streptokinase produced by the bacterium Streptococcus is used for removing clots from blood vessels. So microbes in human welfare, you might have studied about this. Which chromosome in the human genome has the highest number of genes? Chromosome 1. This is from Human Genome Project. So chromosome 1. Least is chromosome Y. So chromosome 1 is the answer there. Which of the following statement is correct about location of the male frog copulatory pad? It is in the first digit of the forelimb. Fourth option is correct. Which of the following phytohormones promote nutrient mobilization, which helps in the delay of leaf senescence? Senescence means aging up. This is from plant growth and growth regulators chapter. So the answer, one which delays leaf senescence, is cytokinins. So cytokinins is the correct answer. I might have even told you in the class about Richmond-Lang effect. While trying to find out the characteristic of a newly found animal, a researcher did the histology of adult animal and observed a cavity with presence of mesodermal tissue towards the body wall, but no mesodermal tissue was observed towards the alimentary canal. It is pseudocoelomate, the answer. So you find pseudocoelomate condition in the Ascalmenthus. Platyhelminthes acoelomate, Ascalmenthus pseudocoelomate. So they have lining, but it does not line the mesoderm, doesn't line the alimentary canal. So the answer is pseudocoelomate. Next, match the following. Head. This is in case of sperm from reproduction chapter. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. So head, it will be what it would be having. They have asked that genetic material. Then there is middle piece, source of energy. Acrosome, they have enzymes for dissolving the ovum. Tail, they have, it is used for sperm motility. All these options are seen in first option. So given below are the stages in the life cycle of pteridophytes. Arrange the following stages in the correct sequence. Prothallus stage, meiosis in spore mother cells, fertilization, then formation of archegonia and antheridia in gametophyte, transfer of anthrozoids to the archegonia in presence of water. So here the first one is, first option should be B, meiosis in spore mother cell. Only then they produce the spores. These spores germinate to form prothallus stage or gametophytic stage. So once they have undergone production of prothallus stage, so the formation of archegonia and antheridia in gametophyte, that takes place. So once these reproductive organs are formed, they release these And the transfer of anthrozoites to the archegonia, it takes place in presence of water. See, you should also remember pteridophytes are also the amphibians of plant kingdom, but we don't highlight that point. Instead, we focus on they are the first terrestrial vascular plants. So you should remember both bryophytes and pteridophytes are amphibians of plant kingdom because they require water to complete their life cycle. So the correct arrangement after that transfer of anthrozoites, it is fertilization. So the correct arrangement is B, A, D, E, C. So that is the correct answer, which is in the first option. So you can see the list the sequences type of question you can notice here. The next one is cardiac activities of the heart are regulated by nodal tissue, special neural center in the medulla oblongata, adrenal medullary hormones, adrenal cortical hormones. So which of these correct answer from the options given below? So the activities of the heart, cardiac activities, what are they regulated by? See, it is regulated by nodal tissue. There is also a special neural center in the medulla oblongata which regulates the rate of heartbeat. And then there is the adrenal medullary hormones. So they are going to release the epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine is also called as adrenaline. Norepinephrine is also called as noradrenaline. They help in increasing the rate of heartbeat as well as reducing the rate of heartbeat. So the first option A, B and C are correct. Which of the following organisms cannot fix nitrogen? Is it Azotobacter, Oscillatoria, Anabina, Volvox, Nostoc? See, Azotobacter, Oscillatoria, Anabina and Nostoc, they can fix nitrogen, but Volvox cannot do it. Volvox is an example of green algae and colonial green algae. They are found as colony. So choose the correct answer from the option given. It is going to be B only. Okay, so D only. Volvox is D, isn't it? So second option D only. Given below are two statements. Again, it's a statement type of question. Transfer RNAs and ribosomal RNA do not interact with mRNA. This is a wrong statement. They are involved and they are interacting, especially during protein translation. So statement 2, RNA interference takes place in all eukaryotic organisms as a method of cellular defense. So statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 is correct. So fourth option is the correct option. See, 115, it is the diagram oriented question that they have given here. So if you look into this, they have asked in the above represented plasmid, an alien piece of DNA is inserted at echo R1 site. So once you insert an alien piece of DNA, it causes insertional inactivation of that gene. So beta galactosidase will be inactivated. Which of the following strategies will be chosen to select the recombinant colonies? So the blue-white color colonies will be selected because the beta galactosidase is deactivated by insertional deactivation. So the colonies that they are going to produce with the recombinant DNA is white color colonies will be selected. Next one, which of the following genetically engineered organism was used by Eli Lilly company to prepare human insulin or humulin? So the organism that they used was bacterium. See, the next one is name the class of enzymes. This I had discussed in biomolecules. So I had asked you to focus on the reactions. If you look into this, that usually catalyze the following reaction. Sg plus S prime, they are going to form S plus S prime G, where G is a group. So the group has been shifted from substrate to substrate prime. So it has been transferred from one substrate to another substrate. This is brought about by the enzyme transferase. Find the statement that is not correct with regard to the structure of monocot stem. This is from Plant Anatomy. Hypodermis is parenchymatous. Vascular bundles are scattered. Vascular bundles are conjoined and closed. Phloem parenchyma is absent. See, hypodermis is parenchymatous is the correct incorrect statement because they don't have any cortex, neither do they have steel. Instead, we call it as ground tissue, and there is no hypodermis. The remaining 3 points are correct. The monocot stem has scattered vascular bundles, which we call it as atactostele. Vascular bundles are conjoint and closed, which implies they don't have cambium. Phloem parenchyma is absent in monocot stem. So the first option is the incorrect statement. Hypodermis is parenchymatous. So the next one is the correct sequence of events in the life cycle of bryophytes is. So we have to arrange it in a proper sequence. You know that gametophytic generation is dominant and sporophytic generation is recessive. So let us look into this question as to how they are arranged. So fusion of anthrozoid with egg, attachment of gametophyte to substratum, reduction division to produce haploid spores, formation of sporophyte, release of anthrozoids into water. So we have to arrange this in the proper sequences. See, the attachment of gametophyte to substratum, that is the first option. Then second one is release of anthrozoids into water because they are carried by water. We do know about it. Fusion of anthrozoid with the egg, that is BEA. Then the next option is reduction division to produce haploid spores and attachment, and then you have BEA DC, formation of sporophyte, and last one is release of reduction division to produce haploid spores. They germinate to form sporophyte. Which are correct? Computed tomography, CT, that we call it as, and magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, they detect cancers of internal organs. Second option, chemotherapeutic drugs are used to kill non-cancerous cells. Alpha interferon activate the cancer patient's immune system and help in destroying the tumor. Chemotherapeutic drugs are biological response modifiers. In the case of leukemia, blood cell counts are decreased. So we are asked to find out the correct answer. See, the internal organs to detect cancer, we use CT and MRI scanning. So that is a correct option. Then chemotherapeutic drugs, they don't kill normal cells, they kill only non-cancerous cells. So that is an incorrect statement. Alpha interferon activate the cancer patient's immune system and help in destroying the tumor. This is a correct statement. C is a correct statement. So A and C only. The next question is centromere. They have given match the following. This is from Cell the Unit of Life and Cell Cycle and Cell Division. So they have asked a lot of questions from these 3 chapters. So you can at least expect 12 questions from them. Cell the Unit of Life, Cell Cycle and Cell Division. And we have the biomolecules. Okay, so centromere, what is it responsible for? So they help during the cell division. Cilium, they help in cell movement. Cristae is found within the mitochondria. Cell membrane is made up of phospholipid bilayer. So centromere, cell division. So A2, then cilium, cell movement. So A2, B3. Fourth option is the correct answer. We have the next question from photosynthesis in plants. Chlorophyll A, they are bluish green in color. Chlorophyll B, yellowish green in color. Xanthophylls, yellow. Carotenoids, yellow to yellow orange. So A3, B1, C2, D4. They are the correct answers. So again they have asked one more question from human reproduction. In human pregnancy, the major organ systems are formed at the end of 12 weeks. This is correct statement. In human pregnancy, the major organ systems are formed at the end of 8 weeks. This is wrong. It is only after 12 weeks. In human pregnancy, heart is formed after 1 month of gestation. This is also correct. Heart is formed immediately after first month of pregnancy. In human pregnancy, limbs and digits develop by the end of the second month. This is also correct statement. In human pregnancy, the appearance of hair is usually observed in the 5th month. So this is also correct. So A, C, D and E are correct statements. In the seeds of cereal, the outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a protein-rich layer called, see, aileron layer it is called as. In plastids, whenever they are storing, the colorless plastids, whenever they are storing protein, we call it as aileroplastids, or isn't it, aileron. So similarly, aileroplast. Here it is aileron layer. In monocot seeds, the embryo and endosperm are separated by aileron layer. It is made up of protein. Again, there is a diagram oriented question. Which of the following diagram is correct with regard to the proximal and distal convoluted tubule of the nephron? Okay, so you can see there is tubular secretion of bicarbonate, sodium chloride, water, and tubular reabsorption of H plus and ammonia, and in distal convoluted tubule it will be potassium and H plus. So the second option is the correct diagram for it. Identify this is again one more diagram oriented question. The part of bioreactor which is used as a foam breaker. This is from biotechnology principles and process chapter. So C is the correct answer. Reason is they help in breaking the foam. So foam breaker is going to be C option. So one more assertion and reason question is, a typical unfertilized angiosperm embryo sac at maturity is 8 nucleate and 7 cell. Reason, the egg apparatus has 2 polar nuclei. See, assertion is correct, reason is wrong. It is not egg apparatus, it is the central cell has 2 polar nuclei. So because of which reason is incorrect. So the answer is A is true but R is false. A specialized membranous structure in a prokaryotic cell which helps in cell wall formation, DNA replication and respiration is, what is that specialized membranous structure? The answer for that is, the options are mesosomes. You know that mesosomes takes up the function of cell wall formation, DNA replication and respiration. They also help in increasing the surface area available for absorption. So the first one is the correct answer. Which of the following are the post-transcriptional events in a eukaryotic cell? After the synthesis of mRNA, we call that as post-transcriptional synthesis. So what are those? Transport of pre-mRNA to cytoplasm prior to splicing, removal of introns and joining of exons. See, transport of pre-mRNA to cytoplasm, that is not a part of the statement. So it is incorrect statement. So the correct one is removal of introns, that is non-coding sequences are removed, and exons, joining of exons, it is correct. Addition of methyl group 5' end of heterogeneous nuclear RNA. So the head region of it. Addition of polyadenine at the 3' end of hnRNA, polyadenine tail. So D is correct. Base pairing of 2 complementary RNAs does not happen because in the transcription you know that only one what you call it as non-template strand synthesizes it. Coding strand does not synthesize mRNA. So there is no formation of complementary RNAs. So base pairing of 2 complementary RNAs is incorrect statement. From this above, B, C, D, they are the correct statement. Remaining are all incorrect. What is the pattern of inheritance for polygenic trait? Polygenic is a deviation from Mendelian principles. So it is going to be non-Mendelian inheritance pattern. So second one is the correct answer for it. Which one of the following enzymes contain heme as the prosthetic group? The enzyme, here you can remember about the catalase enzyme. Okay, that is having heme as the prosthetic group. You know that there are cofactors which are required to activate the enzyme. So the cofactors are of three types. They are the prosthetic group, then we have coenzymes and metal ions. So here they are talking about the prosthetic group. So here it is catalase. Catalase enzyme contains heme. Heme is going to activate catalase to become an active catalase enzyme. Next one, each of the following characteristics represent a kingdom. This is the biological classification chapter. 5 kingdom classification we are discussing about. First option, multicellular heterotrophs with cell wall made up of chitin. So we have to arrange it in the sequence. You know, as per 5 kingdom classification, first one is porifera, the Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia. In the same sequence it should be arranged. So I should look for prokaryotes. C is the first one, prokaryotes with cell wall. Then unicellular, next I have to see eukaryotic. I have to look into so prokaryotes with cell wall, that is done. The eukaryotic autotrophs, that is plants it comes as. So they have given only 4 choice, they have not given protista. So you have to arrange it as Monera, fungi, plantae, animalia. So already I told you C is for Monera. Then I have to look for fungi, multicellular heterotrophs with cell wall made up of chitin, that is fungi. So CA. Then eukaryotic autotrophs, plantae, CADB. So choose the correct answer from the options given below. CADB, that is CEADB. There is a typographical error. E statement is missing. So the answer is CEADB. Second option is correct. Who is known as the father of ecology in India? The answer is Ramdev Mishra. See, this is outside of syllabus. So they have asked like fathers. So I'll be giving later in the list the fathers of ecology. So the next one is list 1 with list 2. Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase. Their experiment is concerned with DNA as a genetic material. Euchromatin is loosely packed and light stained. So A4, B3, whichever has that option, that is correct. The third option has it. Frederick Griffith, he conducted an experiment on Streptococcus pneumoniae. Heterochromatin is densely packed and dark stained. So the correct option is A4, B3, C1, D2. That is third one is the correct answer. See, neoplastic characteristic of cells referred to. Neoplastic cells means they are cancerous cells. We call them as neoplastic cells. They are rapidly undergoing uncontrolled cell division. So a mass of proliferating cell is one option. Then rapid growth of cells also happen. So B option is also correct. Then invasion and damaging the surrounding tissue. We call it as metastasis. So they are not benign, they are spreading. So the metastasis takes place. A, B, C is correct option. Statement 1. The DNA fragments extracted from gel electrophoresis can be used in construction of recombinant DNA. So that is correct statement. Similar smaller size DNA fragments are observed near anode, and the larger fragments near the wells in an agarose gel. Both statements are correct. Statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Okay, next one is match the following. So this I have given table in the class, and I have told you that what is nitrogen base spelling, nucleoside spelling, nucleotide spelling. So adenosine is a nucleoside. Adenylate acid is nucleotide. Adenine is nitrogen base. Alanine is amino acid. So the option is A3, B2, C1, D4. So overall 2025 paper is very easy. So if you are thoroughly prepared, except for 2 or 3 which are having outside the syllabus question. So consider the following The reductive division for the human female gametogenesis. See, most of the questions they have asked from the reproduction in human beings also. Usually it would be 1 or 2, but in 2025 they have asked more questions from it. So the reductive division for the human female gametogenesis starts earlier than of the male gametogenesis. This is a correct statement. The gap between the first meiotic division and second meiotic division is much shorter for males compared to the females. That is also a correct statement. First polar body is associated with, they are not involved in formation of primary oocyte, they degenerate. So C statement is incorrect. Luteinizing hormone surge leads to disintegration of endometrium and onset of menstrual bleeding. That is a wrong statement. So only A and B are correct statement. All living members of class Cyclostomata, this is about animal kingdom. They are ectoparasites. They are from the Gnathostomata, Aegnatha. They don't have jaws, jawless animals. So ectoparasites, they are attached to the host. Next, 140th is assertion reasoning. The primary function of the Golgi apparatus is to package the materials made by the endoplasmic reticulum and deliver it to intracellular targets and outside the cell. See, this statement is correct. That is the reason we call Golgi apparatus as packaging unit of the cell. Now, vesicles containing materials made by endoplasmic reticulum fuse with the cis phase. The entry phase, we call it as cis phase, and they are modified and released from the trans phase of the Golgi apparatus. So here both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation for A. Again, there is a match the following. Scutellum, another name for cotyledons in monocot seed. Scutellum, cotyledon of monocot seed. Non-albuminous seeds, they do not have endosperm. So leguminous seeds are example for non-albuminous seed. Groundnut is an example. Scutellum A2, B3. So there is only one option, that is first option is correct. Epiblast is rudimentary cotyledon. Perisperm is persistent nucellus. They have combined the 11th with 12th portions here. Perisperm, it comes in sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Perisperm is persistent nucellus, we call it as perisperm. Next, again we have an assertion and reason question. All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. This statement is correct. The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in adults. So this reasoning is also correct. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So identify the statement that is not correct. That is, we have to find out incorrect statement. Each antibody has 2 light and 2 heavy chains. We call it as H2L2, isn't it? The heavy and light chains are held together by disulfide bonds. That is also correct. Antigen bind siting is located at C-terminal region of antibody molecules. This is an incorrect statement. So third one is the incorrect statement. Silencing of specific mRNA is possible through RNA interference because of double stranded RNA, complementary double-stranded RNA. We have studied this in the applications of biotechnology. So nematode control using this RNA interference strategy. So it is complementary double-stranded RNA which cannot undergo translation, and a key element is not synthesized, and thus the organism dies. So this is the strategy of RNA interference. Genes R and Y follow independent assortment. If capital RRYY produce round yellow seeds, small RRYY produce wrinkled green seed, what will be the phenotypic ratio? It is going to be 9:3:3:1. Phenotypic means external appearance. Genotypic is genetic makeup. So you can remember it as 121, 242, 121. I might have told you in the class. So phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. Histones are enriched with lysine and arginine. The first menstruation is called the menarche. The stoppage of menstruation is called menopause. So the first menstrual cycle is called as menarche. So they are all easy questions. Next, they have given organs and the hormones that are released. Heart, ANF, atrial natriuretic factor. Kidney, there is the erythropoietin, B1. Gastrointestinal tract, they are having this, what you call it as secretin. Adrenal cortex, aldosterone. The answer is A3, B1, C4, D2. The protein portion of an enzyme is called cofactor, coenzyme, apoenzyme, prosthetic group? It is apoenzyme. Apoenzyme is inactive. And you should remember that cofactor, coenzyme, prosthetic group are non-protein components. They are all types of cofactors. So third one is the correct option. Which of the following is the unit of productivity of an ecosystem? It is kilocalories per meter square per year. Fourth option. Sweet potato and potato represent a certain type of evolution. Select the correct combination of terms to explain the evolution. See, sweet potato is a root modification, potato is a stem modification. So the correct combination of terms to explain the evolution here is, they are different organs, but they are having a common function. It is analogy and convergent evolution. So first option is the correct one. So here we have pedigree analysis, again a diagram oriented question. So whenever there is a circle with dot, they are carriers. So here female with black dot, it indicates that they are affected females. So this entire chart, looking at it, there is a carrier female and female is affected. So we can come to a conclusion it is going to be a X-linked inheritance. So there is a cross at F3. Find out the probability for the birth of a child having no disease and being a carrier. So if you look into this, for a child having no disease, so they have not asked children for having a child. It is like singular. There was a two ambiguity here. So you should notice even the language plays an important role for of a child having no disease and being a carrier. Okay, carrier is possible only in females. So in F3 generation, males will be affected. So males are affected there, because in the males, the mother, one of the male is affected, one of the male is not affected by the disease. Carriers, so there is a possibility of one of them being normal female, another being a carrier. So if you take only the females, it is 1/2. But if you take all of the offsprings, it is 1/4. So if you take all of the option, it is 1/4. So there is this ambiguity. So both one option and two option can be correct. If you are just going to take, see, carriers, only the females are possible, and it is X-linked inheritance. Okay, the F3, both of them are affected individuals. So I felt it is more of 1/2 as the answer. Next one is, given below are two statements, again assertion and reason. Cells of the tapetum possess dense cytoplasm and generally have more than one nucleus. So presence of more than one nucleus in the tapetum increases the efficiency of nourishing the developing microspore mother cells. In light of the above statements, choose the most appropriate answer from the options given below. Cells of the A statement is also correct. Presence of more than one nucleus in the tapetum increases the efficiency of nourishing. This reasoning is also correct. Both A and R are correct. R is the correct explanation of A. 154th, again it is from cell cycle and cell division. During regular class itself, I would have done this problem. How many meiotic and mitotic divisions need to occur for the development of a mature female gametophyte? It is going to be from the megaspore mother cell. From megaspore mother cell, it will be 1 meiosis and 3 mitosis. The answer is 1 meiosis and 3 mitosis. Which of the following is an example of zygomorphic flower? See, Petunia, Datura, Chili, all three are the Solanaceae family. Solanaceae family has actinomorphic flower. Pea plant, Fabaceae family, the pulses, they are all having the zygomorphic flower, bilateral symmetry. So third one, pea plant is the correct one. After maturation in primary lymphoid organs, the lymphocytes migrate for interaction with antigens to secondary lymphoid organs. This is immunity topic we are discussing about. So secondary lymphoid organs, like what are those organs? Okay, so is it thymus, bone marrow? Secondary lymphoid organs and tissues are spleen, lymph nodes, and Peyer's patches. Okay, so these are the three organs where after maturation in thymus and in bone marrow, the lymphocytes migrate. So spleen, lymph node, and Peyer's patches. Okay, fourth option is correct, C, D, E. Given below are the two statements. Fig fruit is a non-vegetarian fruit as it has enclosed fig wasp in it. This is a wrong statement. Okay. Second statement, fig wasp and fig tree exhibit mutual relationship as fig wasp completes its life cycle in fig fruit and fig fruit gets pollinated by fig wasp. In the light of the above statements, choose the most appropriate answer from the options. So there is statement 1 is incorrect. Okay, so I feel that statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. I don't know why fig fruit can be called as a non-vegetarian fruit, because we open the fruit and see for the insect, and only if the insects are not there we are going to pop it out. But here they have given both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. I feel statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is correct. Mutualism is there. Anyway, that ambiguity in that question is there. What is the main function of the spindle fibers during mitosis? They help in separation of chromosomes. The condensation of spindle fibers brings about the longitudinal splitting up of sister chromosomes during anaphase of mitosis. So to separate the chromosomes, 158, first one. Which one of the following is the characteristic feature of gymnosperms? Seeds are enclosed in fruit. Seeds are naked. Naked seeded plants they are, because before fertilization and after fertilization, ovule is not covered by ovary. So you know that ovary after fertilization becomes fruit, ovule after fertilization becomes seed. So that is not happening here. Then the next question is, consider the following statement regarding adrenal medullary hormones. It causes pupillary constriction. See, adrenal medullary hormones are adrenaline, noradrenaline. It is a hyperglycemic hormone. It causes piloerection. It increases strength of heart contraction. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. Okay. See, adrenal medullary hormones. So cortex, cortical hormones, this is medullary. The answer is, so the correct answers for these are B, C and D only. Okay, so second option, B, C and D only. Why can't insulin be given orally to diabetic patients? The reason will be the digestive enzymes acts on them. It will be digested in gastrointestinal tract, B. Next one, it is from plant kingdom. Pteridophyte example is Salvinia. It's an aquatic fern. I told you that it is seen in the Yerkard lake. Yerkard is the poor man's Ooty, they call it as. So I collected it from there. Salvinia is a aquatic fern which floats in water. So bryophyte is polytrichum, it is mosses. Angiosperm is salvia. This flower has lever mechanism. See, salvia is outside of syllabus. Gymnosperm is ginkgo. Okay, gymnosperm is ginkgo. So A4, then B3, C1, D2. So second option is correct. Who proposed that the genetic code for amino acids should be made up of 3 nucleotides? It is GG. Remember that as GG, George Gamow. Then again match the following, the evil quartet. So it is for the destruction of biodiversity, cause of biodiversity loss. Okay, XC2 conservation, that is outside natural. It is for why do we have one of the example is cryopreservation, lantana camera, it's an alien species invasion, dodo extinction. So these options are seen in A3, B1, C2, D4. Okay, A3, B1, C2, D4. Second option is correct. Which of the following hormones released from the pituitary is actually synthesized in the hypothalamus? So released from the pituitary. So hypothalamus, vasopressin, oxytocin. So vasopressin is also called as antidiuretic hormone. So second option is correct, antidiuretic hormone. The role of the water vascular system in echinoderms. They have the role of respiration and locomotion. Then they are also involved in, they are not involved in excretion, respiration and locomotion, capture and transport of food. A and C only is the correct answer. Next one, which of the following type of immunity is present at the time of birth? Okay, it is the innate immunity, inborn, and is non-specific. It provides protection against all type of antigens and not specific. That is why it is non-specific. Acquired, we acquire later. Innate is from birth we have it. So innate immunity. See, in the immunity topic itself, 2 questions already we have come across, isn't it? In bryophiles, the gemmae help in which one of the following? Gemmae is for asexual reproduction. In frog, see, structural organization, this is again a second question. The renal portal system is a special venous connection that acts to link. In frog, renal means kidney, portal system. So it is kidney and lower part of body is connected by renal portal system. So give 2 statements are given. In ecosystem, there is unidirectional flow of energy of sun from producers to consumers. Unidirectional flow, that is correct. Ecosystems are exempted from second law of thermodynamics. It is wrong. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So energy is neither created nor destroyed. So ecosystems also follow that. Okay. Which of the following statement about rubisco is true? This is from photosynthesis in plants. It is active only in the dark. That is a wrong statement. It has higher affinity of oxygen than carbon dioxide. It is wrong. It has more affinity towards carbon dioxide. It is an enzyme involved in photolysis of water. That is also wrong. It catalyzes the carboxylation of RUBP. Very correct statement. So carbon dioxide combines with RUBP in presence of ribulose bis carboxylase oxygenase enzyme. Fourth option is correct. Which of the following enzymes are not essential for gene cloning? See, restriction enzymes are required, DNA ligase is required, DNA mutase is not required. Okay, DNA recombinase is also not required. There is no recombination here. So C and D are not required. Read the following statements on plant growth and development. Parthenocarpy can be induced by auxins. Yes, that can be done. Plant growth regulators can be involved in promotion as well as inhibition of growth. Both they are present. De-differentiation is a prerequisite for redifferentiation. Correct. A, B, C are correct. Abscisic acid is a growth inhibitor. So D is incorrect. Apical dominance produces the growth of lateral buds. It promotes the growth of apical buds. So D and E are incorrect. So A, B, C is the correct statement. Which factor is important for termination of transcription? Rho factor. Sigma for initiation. Termination, rho factor. Frogs respire in water. Again, this is a topic from structural organization. It respires in water by skin and buccal cavity, and on land by skin, buccal cavity and lungs. Choose the correct answer from the following. The statement is true for water but false for land. See, the statement is false for water but true for land. This is correct one. So third one is correct option. Twins are born to a family that lives next door to you. The twins are a boy and girl. So it's fraternal twins. It is not monozygotic. They are dizygotic twins. So they are fraternal twins. Second option is correct. Which of the following microbe is not involved in the preparation of household products? Aspergillus niger is involved, Lactobacillus is involved, the Trichoderma polysporum is not involved. So second option, A and C, they are not involved in preparation. Aspergillus niger and Trichoderma polysporum, they are not involved in preparation of household products. 178, match the following again. Progesterone, it is produced by corpus luteum. Relaxin, it is by catecholamines is adrenal medulla. Ovary is going to, so the option is A4, progesterone, corpus luteum. B2, so relaxin produced by ovary. And C1, melanocyte stimulating hormone is going to be produced by the adrenal, the pars intermedium, adrenal medulla, catecholamine. So first option is correct. Next one, 179. The blue and white selectable markers have been developed which differentiate recombinant colonies from non-recombinant colonies. Given below are two statements. Blue colored colonies have DNA insert in the plasmid and they are identified as recombinant colonies. DNA insert in the plasmid. Statement 1 is incorrect. But statement 2, the colonies without blue color have DNA insert. That is white colored one. This is correct. Statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is correct. Next, which one of the following equation represents the Verhulst per logistic growth of population, organism and populations? So second one is correct. dN by dt equals Rn of k minus n divided by k. So that is the completion of our entire paper. Overall, it was very easy. 98% of the questions were from within the NCERT book. Only around 2% was outside of NCERT book. And as I told you, they have not separated botany, zoology. They have jumbled it up. So there was no separate botany section and zoology section. And there were no choices. Okay. So this is what is the NEET 2025 paper. You can also watch the other papers in the description part of it, of the previous years. Hope it is helpful for you. Good luck for your academics.